It started with a smile, just a simple smile, but it had the kind of warmth that could make anyone forget the world outside. Alex had never believed in love at first sight, yet when he met Emma at that small coffee shop on a rainy Thursday morning, he felt something shift inside him. She was standing there, rain dripping from her umbrella, shaking it off with delicate grace. Her laughter, soft and unplanned, echoed against the walls. Alex had gone in for a quick cup of black coffee, but he found himself staring, unable to look away. He tried to play it cool. "Hi," he said, offering the faintest smile. "Hi," she replied, her eyes glimmering with something he couldn't name. There was curiosity there, yes, but also a trace of something deeper, something almost sad. Days turned into weeks. Alex and Emma met by chance, over and over again. Their conversations started small: books, music, favorite movies. Then, slowly, they became intimate in ways that didn't require touch. They shared stories about childhood homes, first heartbreaks, and dreams too big to speak aloud in daylight. Emma always had a hint of mystery, a part of her that seemed locked away, yet she let him in just enough to keep him wanting more. Alex, on the other hand, wore his heart openly. He didn't understand the caution, but he respected it. One evening, as they walked along the riverfront, the sun melting into the horizon, Alex stopped. "Emma, I need to ask you something." She turned, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "What is it? Have you ever loved someone the way I feel about you?" His voice cracked slightly. Emma smiled, but it wasn't the same carefree smile from the coffee shop. It was softer, a little hesitant. "Yes," she whispered. "I've loved, but only once, and it was different. It's hard to explain." Alex nodded, pretending to understand. Yet, deep down, he wondered what she meant. Months passed, and their bond grew. They celebrated small victories together, held each other through quiet disappointments, and created a world that felt theirs alone. Alex often thought about proposing, but Emma's past, the unspoken shadow she carried, made him pause. Then came the night that changed everything. Alex had been running late from work. He walked into their apartment, expecting the soft hum of the city outside and the scent of her vanilla candle. Instead, he found a letter on the kitchen counter, written in Emma's delicate script. He unfolded it, eyes scanning the words. It was confession, apology, and warning all rolled into one. "I need you to know," it began, "that I have loved before. Not like this, not like us. I was someone else then. I made mistakes that I can never take back. If you stay with me, you must promise to see me as I am now, not as I was." Alex felt a chill. He had always suspected she had a past, but seeing it laid bare, tangible in her handwriting, made his heart tighten. Later that night, as Emma returned, he held the letter out. "Why didn't you tell me?" Her eyes welled with tears. "I was afraid that my past would ruin what we have." Alex's hand found hers. "Your past doesn't define you, but I need to know everything. Every secret," she nodded, biting her lip, as if steeling herself for what was to come. "Okay," she said quietly, "I'll tell you. But, you might hate me." And just as she opened her mouth to speak, the doorbell rang. It was late. No one should be visiting. Yet there was a presence on the other side, urgent, insistent. Emma froze. "Alex Tennis." The voice behind the door was cold, unfamiliar. "Emma Harper." She took a deep breath. "Yes. Then we need to talk. Now." Alex looked at her, confusion and dread mixing in his chest. Whatever this was, it wasn't going to be simple. As she stepped toward the door, her hand brushing against his, she whispered, almost to herself, "I never thought this day would come." If you're enjoying this story so far, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more touching tales. Alex followed her, heart pounding. The night held secrets, and some of them would change everything. Emma opened the door, and the shadow of her past stepped inside. The air thickened. Tension, fear, and anticipation collided. Alex realized, in that instant, that loving someone meant knowing their history and surviving it. Emma's eyes met his. There was apology, regret, and an almost imperceptible fear. "This is him," she said softly, and with that, the door closed behind the figure from her past. Alex swallowed hard. What he was about to learn would challenge everything he thought he knew about love, trust, and forgiveness. The night was far from over, and neither of them would ever be the same. The figure in the doorway was tall, sharp-eyed, and carried an air of authority that made Alex step back instinctively. Emma's hand trembled slightly as she closed the door behind him. "This is Daniel," she said quietly. He was a big part of my past." Alex studied him. Daniel's gaze lingered on Emma, unreadable. but there was a tension in the air that made Alex's stomach knot. He wanted to ask questions, so many questions, but something told him to wait. Emma took a deep breath. Daniel and we were together years ago. Before I met you. Before I was the person you know now. Daniel didn't speak at first. Instead, he looked at Alex, assessing him. Then he nodded slightly, as if acknowledging a silent agreement. Emma asked me to come. She wants you to know everything. The truth. Alex's jaw tightened. He wasn't sure he wanted the truth. He wanted the woman in front of him, the one who laughed, who held his hand when he was afraid, who made him believe in love. But apparently, that wasn't enough. Emma led Daniel to the living room. Alex followed, heart heavy. They all sat down, and for a moment, silence filled the room like an uninvited guest. Emma started. Daniel and we were young, reckless. I made mistakes. I regret every single day. I hurt people I cared about, including him. Her voice cracked slightly. It wasn't fair to anyone. I thought I could escape that life, but it's never that simple. Daniel finally spoke. His voice was calm but firm. I'm not here to accuse or to reopen old wounds. I'm here so Alex understands the full picture. Emma has always been honest with me about wanting to change, but there's a part of her history that can't be ignored. Alex's head spun. He wanted to hear, but he also feared what he might learn. Emma, tell me. I can handle it. Emma nodded, biting her lip. I was involved with him. Emotionally, financially, in ways I shouldn't have been. It's complicated, but I need you to know that it ended badly. I left it all behind. I left him behind. Daniel interjected. She didn't just leave. Alex, she saved herself from a situation that could have destroyed her completely. I tried to make her stay, but she was stronger than I realized. Alex looked between them. The story wasn't over, and the weight of it pressed down on him. He realized that loving Emma wasn't just about the beautiful, easy moments. It was about navigating the shadows she carried, the echoes of choices made long before he existed. Emma's eyes glistened. I never wanted my past to hurt you, but I wanted you to know. I had to be honest before things went too far. Alex swallowed. He could feel the storm of emotions rising inside him. Fear, anger, confusion, but also a deep, undeniable affection for the woman sitting across from him. Daniel finally stood. I'll leave you two alone. I just wanted to make sure you knew the truth. Be careful. Alex, Emma's past. It's complicated, but she's changed. She's different now. Alex nodded, though he wasn't sure he fully understood. Daniel left, closing the door gently behind him. Silence returned, heavier than before. Emma leaned back against the couch, exhausted. I told you everything, she said softly. I hope you can forgive me for not telling you sooner. Alex reached for her hand, squeezing it. I don't know if I can forgive, because I'm not angry at you. I'm trying to process, but I do know this: I love the person you are now. Not the past, not the mistakes, just you. Emma's eyes filled with tears. Thank you. That means more than I can say. For the first time in hours, a fragile calm settled over them. They held each other, silently acknowledging that love wasn't always simple, that trust could be fragile, and that truth could both wound and heal. Yet, just as Alex began to feel relief, a small envelope slid under the door. He picked it up, curious. Emma glanced at it nervously. I didn't expect this tonight, she murmured. Inside was a single photograph. Alex froze. It showed Emma, but not as he knew her. She was with someone else, smiling, laughing, holding a hand he didn't recognize. Emma's hand went to her mouth. I never wanted you to see this. Alex's heart pounded. The photograph was a window into a life she had tried to leave behind. A life that could shatter everything they had built together. Why now? Alex asked, his voice low. Who sent this? Emma shook her head. I don't know. I don't know why it came, but it's from my past, and it's part of what I meant when I said, my past tells a completely different story. The room was quiet, the air thick with tension. Alex studied her, searching for answers. She looked vulnerable, afraid, and utterly human. He realized something in that moment. Love wasn't about perfect beginnings. It was about facing uncomfortable truths together, navigating storms, and choosing to stay when everything else demanded running. Emma leaned into him. I'm sorry you had to see this. I never wanted to hurt you. Alex held her tighter. I'm not sure what this means yet, he admitted, but I want to figure it out, with you. As the night stretched on, neither spoke much. The photograph sat on the table between them, a silent reminder of secrets and past choices. Outside, the rain had stopped, but the storm inside Alex and Emma had only just begun. And then, just as they thought the tension might settle, Alex's phone buzzed. A message appeared. Some truths are better left buried. Be careful. Alex stared at the screen, the words making his blood run cold. He looked at Emma. Her face mirrored his fear, though she tried to hide it. The past wasn't finished with them, not by a long shot. Alex stared at the message on his phone for what felt like an eternity. Some truths are better left buried. Be careful. He looked at Emma. Her hands were clasped tightly in her lap, eyes wide and nervous. For the first time, he saw her vulnerability in a way that made his chest tighten, not from love alone, but from worry. Who would send this? Alex asked. Emma shook her head. I don't know. I've thought about people from my past, but I didn't expect this. I never thought they'd reach out now. Alex took a deep breath. Then we need to know. We can't let it sit in the dark. Emma nodded reluctantly. I suppose we can try, but Alex, my past isn't clean. You might hate me after this. Alex reached for her hand. I don't hate you, I need to understand. I need to see it all. The next morning, they decided to start with the photograph. They examined it closely, every detail. The man in the photo wasn't Daniel, he was someone new, someone Alex had never seen before. But he was unmistakably important to Emma. Emma's lips trembled. That's Marcus, we were close. I made a terrible mistake. I thought leaving him behind was the only way to move on. Alex swallowed hard. What kind of mistake? Emma looked down, her voice barely above a whisper. I was naive. I trusted him when I shouldn't have. I let him into my life in ways that hurt people. Hurt me. I thought I could change, but I had to escape. And I did. I ran from it all. Alex felt a mix of anger and pity. He wanted to shake her, to tell her she had no right to carry this burden alone, but he also understood that she had. She had survived. Why now? He asked. Why is he her or whoever sent that message? Emma shook her head again. I don't know, but I have a feeling it's not over. I thought I could bury the past. Alex, I really did. Days passed. The tension between them was palpable, though they tried to act normal. They went for walks, shared meals, and laughed quietly at small things, but the photograph and the cryptic message lingered in Alex's mind. Then one evening, Emma got a call. She stepped outside to answer it, and Alex could hear nothing but her quiet, shocked voice. They want to meet me, she said when she returned. Marcus, he wants to meet. Alex felt his stomach drop. Meet? Why? Emma shook her head. I don't know. He says he has something important to tell me. Something about everything I thought I left behind. Alex's heart raced. He wanted to insist she stay away, that she protect herself, but he also knew she wouldn't listen. Emma had always been brave in ways he could never fully understand. Then I'll go with you, he said firmly. If this is part of your past, I'm not letting you face it alone. Emma hesitated, searching his face. She wanted to protest, to keep him out of this, but she saw the determination in his eyes. Slowly, she nodded. The next day they drove to a quiet cafe on the outskirts of the city. Marcus was already there, sitting at a corner table, sipping coffee. His presence was calm but unnervingly confident. Emma approached cautiously. Marcus, she said softly. He stood. Emma, it's been a long time. Alex stayed slightly behind her, observing silently. There was tension in the air, almost tangible. Marcus turned his gaze toward Alex and gave a small, polite nod. I see you've met Alex, Marcus said. He's part of your life now. Emma's jaw tightened. Yes, and you need to understand whatever this is. It ends here. I'm not going back. Marcus smiled faintly. I don't want to pull you back. I just need to explain something. Something that's been unresolved. Alex's patience thinned. Resolved. Emma has moved on. You're from the past. Let it stay there. Marcus looked at him carefully. I know it seems that way, but some things can't be left in the past. I need her to understand before it's too late. Emma's hands trembled. Explain what, Marcus? He reached into his pocket and pulled out an envelope. Everything you thought you left behind. It's not over. There are people, situations, consequences you need to know so that you can finally be free. Alex felt a chill. This was bigger than he imagined. Emma's past wasn't just mistakes or heartbreak. It was unfinished business. And now, it threatened to drag both of them in. Emma's eyes filled with tears. I wanted to leave it all behind. Alex, I never wanted you to be part of this. But it seems there's no escaping it. Marcus nodded solemnly. There's no escaping the truth, Emma. And the longer we wait, the harder it will be to fix what's been left unresolved. Alex took a deep breath, steeling himself. Then we face it together. No more secrets. No more hiding. Emma looked at him, her lips trembling in a fragile smile. Are you sure? This could get complicated. Alex nodded firmly. I'm sure, because I love you, and love doesn't turn away when things get hard. Marcus handed the envelope to Emma. She opened it slowly, revealing documents, letters, and photographs, evidence of mistakes, betrayal, and lives intertwined with hers in ways Alex could hardly imagine. Emma gasped. Oh, no. This can't be happening. Alex put a steady hand on her shoulder. Whatever it is, we'll handle it. Together. But as they looked at the contents of the envelope, Alex realized the truth was heavier than he expected. Emma's past wasn't just a shadow, it was a storm waiting to crash down, and for the first time, he wondered if love alone would be enough to weather it. Emma's hands shook as she sifted through the contents of the envelope. Letters, photographs, and old legal documents spilled across the table. Alex stayed close, silently offering support. The weight of her past pressed down on them both. Alex, I didn't tell you everything, Emma whispered, her voice trembling. There's more than just Marcus. There's financial mistakes, trust broken, people hurt. I thought I could fix it all before anyone else had to know. Alex took a deep breath. We'll face it, step by step. Whatever it is, it doesn't change who you are now. Emma looked at him, tears brimming. But what if it does? What if you realize I'm too complicated, too flawed? Alex shook his head firmly. We all have flaws. We all have pasts. What matters is now, and how we move forward. I'm not going anywhere. Marcus leaned back in his chair, watching them. Emma made mistakes. Yes, but she left the chaos behind for a reason. Some people don't get the chance to escape their past. Emma swallowed hard. I want to escape. I've been trying to rebuild my life, Alex, but it seems no matter what I do, it keeps catching up. Alex took her hand. Then we fight it together. I don't care how messy it gets. We'll figure it out. That's what love is, facing storms, not running from them. For a moment, the three of them sat in silence. Marcus's presence was unnerving, but Alex refused to let it shake his resolve. He could see the fear in Emma's eyes, and he knew he needed to be strong for her. Then Marcus spoke again, his tone heavy. Emma, there's one person you thought you could leave behind, but he hasn't forgotten. He's still a threat to everything you've built. I've tried to handle it, but now, he's asking questions. He's looking for answers. Alex felt his stomach knot. Who? Marcus shook his head. You don't know him, and that's probably for the best. But Emma, if he finds out what you've done, the consequences could be serious. Emma's face paled. I never wanted him involved. I just wanted to move on, to start over. Alex squeezed her hand. We'll deal with him if it comes to that. No running, no hiding. The cafe felt smaller somehow, the walls closing in with tension. Emma looked between Alex and Marcus. I need to tell him everything, the truth, before he can act. I have to. Alex nodded. Then we do it together. No secrets this time. Over the next few days, Emma and Alex worked through every piece of evidence Marcus had given them. The process was exhausting. Each document revealed a layer of Emma's past she had hoped never to confront. But through it all, Alex stayed by her side, offering quiet encouragement. There's so much I wish I hadn't done, Emma said one evening, her voice breaking. Alex took her face gently in his hands. Stop blaming yourself. You're here now. You're making the right choices. That's what matters. But even as he said the words, a part of him wondered if love alone could truly protect them. Then came a late-night phone call. The voice on the other end was low, threatening. Emma Harper, you think you can escape the past? You're wrong. Everything you've built, everything you care about, it can all be taken away. And soon. Emma's hands trembled. She looked at Alex, fear in her eyes. It's him. He's back. He knows. Alex felt a surge of protectiveness. Whoever he is, he won't touch you. Not while I'm here. Emma nodded, but the fear lingered. I should have told you sooner. But I thought I could handle it alone. Alex held her close. No more alone. From now on, we face it together, no matter what. The next day, they prepared to meet this mysterious threat. Marcus offered to accompany them, though Alex was reluctant. He didn't like the idea of someone from Emma's past guiding them, but he knew they needed the knowledge. They arrived at a quiet park, the air crisp and tense. A figure emerged from the shadows, watching them from a distance. Alex felt his heart pound. Emma took a deep breath. It's time, she whispered. The man stepped closer, and Alex could see the cold calculation in his eyes. This was someone who had haunted Emma's past. Someone she had tried desperately to forget. Emma Harper, he said, his voice sharp. You thought you could escape me. Emma's lips pressed into a thin line. I'm not the person I was. You have no power over me anymore. The man's eyes flicked to Alex. And who is this? Your boyfriend. Alex stood firm. I'm the one who won't let you hurt her. A tense silence fell over the park. For the first time, Emma's past and present collided fully, and the outcome was uncertain. Alex realized then that love wasn't just about holding hands or soft words. It was about standing in the storm, facing danger, and refusing to let fear dictate their lives. But, as the man took another step closer, Alex felt a cold certainty. The confrontation was only beginning, and in that moment, Emma's eyes met his, silently asking if they could survive the coming storm together. The answer was clear. They had to, but the danger was closer than they realized. And some truths were about two surface truths that would shake everything Alex thought he knew about Emma and her past. The man from Emma's past took a step closer, his expression cold and unreadable. Alex positioned himself slightly in front of her, muscles tense, ready for anything. Emma's hand found his, gripping it tightly. You don't understand, the man said, his voice low and dangerous. Everything I know. It could ruin you. All of it. Emma's eyes blazed with determination. I don't care anymore. I'm not the person I was. You have no control over me. No power to manipulate my life now. Alex felt a surge of pride. Despite the fear, despite the storm her past had brought, Emma stood strong. She wasn't the frightened girl in the photographs. She was here, in the present, claiming her life. The man hesitated. He clearly expected fear, submission, but there was none. Alex's gaze was steady, unyielding. You underestimated her, Alex said calmly. And you underestimated me. We're not running. We're not hiding. Whatever you think you know about her, it doesn't matter anymore. Emma took a deep breath. Whatever past you're holding over me, it ends now. I choose my life. I choose Alex. And nothing from before can take that away. For a moment, the tension seemed to crack, as if the weight of history itself was struggling against the present. The man's eyes flickered with something regret, perhaps, or acknowledgement. I never wanted it to be this way, he muttered. I only wanted you to understand the consequences of leaving me. Emma shook her head. I understand now, and I accept the consequences of my past choices, but I will not let them define my future. Alex squeezed her hand. And I'll be right here with you, always. The man finally stepped back, a silent acknowledgement passing between them. Some battles are not fought with fists or words, they're fought with truth and courage. Emma had won her own war simply by facing him without fear. Days turned into weeks. The tension that had haunted them began to lift. The envelopes, the letters, the photographs, each symbol of a life she had left behind, lost their power. Emma and Alex worked together, untangling the loose threads of the past while building a life that belonged only to them. Emma confided everything to Alex. Every regret, every misstep, every fear. And he listened, not with judgment, but with love. Each confession deepened their bond, proving that intimacy wasn't just about closeness, it was about trust and resilience. One quiet evening, they sat on the balcony of their apartment, city lights twinkling like distant stars. Emma rested her head on Alex's shoulder. I never thought I'd get this far. I never thought I could escape the shadows of who I used to be. Alex kissed her forehead gently. You did, because you faced them. You didn't run. And you trusted me enough to let me stand beside you. Emma smiled, tears glistening in her eyes. I was scared, Alex. Scared that my past would ruin everything. But you made me believe love could survive anything. Alex pulled her closer. It can. Because love isn't perfect. It's messy. It's complicated. But it's real. And it's ours. For the first time in months, Emma felt light. The weight of her past, though never forgotten, no longer held power over her life. She had faced it, accepted it, and moved forward with someone who loved her despite it all. The challenges they had endured had changed them, forged them stronger. They knew that life could throw shadows their way, but they had learned the most important truth. Together, they could face anything. Weeks later, on a crisp Saturday morning, Alex led Emma to a quiet park where they had shared small moments of joy before. He stopped, turned to her, and dropped to one knee. Emma gasped, covering her mouth. Alex, what? I love you, Emma. I've loved you through laughter, through fear, through storms you never imagined. I want to face every part of life with you. Will you marry me? Tears filled her eyes as she nodded. Yes, yes, Alex, I will. They embraced, the city around them fading into insignificance. The past had tested them, threatened to tear them apart, but love had prevailed. They had faced betrayal, regret, and fear and emerged stronger, united by trust, courage, and an unwavering bond. In that moment, Emma realized that the story of her life wasn't just about mistakes or heartbreaks. It was about redemption, resilience, and the kind of love that could survive even the darkest shadows. Alex held her close, whispering softly, "No matter what comes next, we face it together. Always." Emma smiled against his chest. Always. The storm had passed, the shadows had faded, and in the quiet aftermath, love remained stronger, deeper, and more beautiful than either of them could have imagined. They had conquered the past, embraced the present, and stepped boldly into a future they would write together, one built, not on perfection, but on honesty, courage, and the unwavering power of love. And for the first time in a long time, Emma knew she was truly free. The end.